Well, hi, I've been asked to give a little instruction on how to use the prophetic art cards. We have a group of artists that create art and then we make postcards. So the postcards, these have a verse on the back, so you can refer to the verse when you give them out, or you can just refer to the picture on the front. So, for instance, this card of a bird cage with a bird, you could just share this card and ask the Lord ahead of time what you want to speak, Lord, to the person through this card. And so then you're going to give this card and you're going to speak an encouraging word. If the Lord gives you any kind of a word of knowledge, you could share that as well. But this, you could always ask them, why did you choose that card if they chose it? If you chose it, then you can say, I chose this card for you because the Lord wants to bless you in a specific way. And then you proceed to tell what that way is. I always encourage people to ask if they can pray for the person, whether or not there's something they could use prayer for. I ask if this picture could mean something special to them. So there's a variety of ways to use these particular cards. So I'm just going to show you a few so you can get an idea that there's such a variety of different. Some of the ones we've used even have stick figures on them. But these could be important to someone for various reasons. And so these cards are just a tool. They bridge someone's heart to the Lord through a gift. I like to refer to them as bridges to the heart. Some of the ways that I've used these cards, I keep them in my purse or in my car door, and when the Lord says give one, I give it. So I could be at a drive-through window and the Lord will say give a card, give a tip. That's happened to me, where I'll give a money tip and then I'll give a card and I'll say, this was a gift that I want to give to you just because I want to bless you and I will be praying for you. Is there anything quickly that I can pray for? Some people actually tell you, even though you're in a drive-through and it's got to be fast, there's an impact you can make in that place. And then if you're a repeat customer, you get to go back and bless over and over again. Grocery stores, gas stations, in the park when you're walking around, keep some with you when you're just going jogging, or when you're out and about at a restaurant. I've done many at restaurants where I keep a card with me, and then I'll give it to the server at the restaurant and speak a word, ask them if they need prayer. Sometimes the Lord will give a word of knowledge. It's just amazing what God will do if you're ready for it and willing to step out. And one time, just real quickly, I was coming out of a restaurant and I passed by a girl and the Lord told me that I had a word for her. And for some reason, this was many years ago when I was kind of timid and I did not obey the Lord the first time, and I walked away. And I remembered from that time, I will never walk away again. Lord, if you speak to me and say, give a word, because she looked like she was really downhearted and I didn't know what to say at the moment. So even if you're new at this and you feel intimidated a little bit, just remember, it's God who's saying He wants to speak. So it's not you at all. You're just the vessel. I was a testimony about these cards. I was in a park and I was choosing from a variety of cards that I had, and I chose one. I felt the Lord said, take this one. It was 3 yellow flowers, and you're going to find a family of 3. And this was a playground that was very busy. And as I started walking to find the family, the Lord told me, turn over there, go to him. And I'm like, well, that's a single man sitting on a picnic bench. He has no family around him. And I kept walking, and the Lord said, no, go back. So I went back to the man, and I said, this might seem strange, but I feel like I'm supposed to give you a picture of these flowers. And then I said, would you accept it? And he said, yeah, sure. And so I said, well, when I saw you sitting here, I almost passed by, but I felt like the voice of God told me, no, it's for you. He particularly needs these flowers today. And often guys don't want flowers, it doesn't mean as much to them. And so I started to tell him that the Lord told me it was for a family of 3. But then I heard him wrong, and so I want to give them to you because I want to obey the Lord. And he looked at me and he goes, "Can you wait just a minute?" And I said, "Sure." And he yells to, I can't remember his wife's name, but he yells to her to come over here because he wanted her to hear what I was saying. And along with her comes this little girl. And so the three of them were a family. And I got to tell them that these little yellow flowers that I drew a picture of represented new growth, and that they were being planted, and the Lord wanted them to bloom in that place where he was planting them. And he goes, "Oh man, we are in the process of looking for a new church right now." So it was really a neat testimony that the word was further. It went further with a prophetic word over his life and a prayer at the end that he would find where he's supposed to be because he was looking for a new church, and that God heard his prayers and wanted me to come alongside to confirm that God heard his prayers and said he was going to place that family in a beautiful place where they would blossom.